Last season was probably a disappointment for us. We missed out on the conference playoffs after preseason being picked to win the conference and coming off of a championship season. So we really have to improve in all facets of the game. 15-10 and out of the playoffs just isn't acceptable, and we have to get better everywhere. This year, our returners and our depth really revolves around our size. We return our starting big men, Shane Irwin, Derek Hall, as well as every other big man in our program returns. So we will be very experienced inside. We'll be big, we'll be strong, we'll be pretty athletic. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they play and how they mesh with new guys coming into the lineup. Outside of our starting big men, most of the guys are in a new role this year. So particularly our wings, Cornell Mickens, Kyle Jordan, both saw substantial time last year off the bench. We really have lofty expectations for them as they slide into the starting lineup. Both are good running the floor and good perimeter players, getting to the rim, can knock down the shot. We're very optimistic about how they're going to play. Right now, Sam Morella will be our starting point guard. Sophomore was our primary backup the second half of the season last year, and really has a great basketball IQ. Just understands everything that's going on. A very good communicator. He's a pure point guard. Other guys in the mix are Randall Castleberry, who's a redshirt freshman, and Devin Brown, who's a true freshman. So obviously we're young at the point, but there's a lot of talent there. It's just what type of learning curve will there be for those youngsters? And goals are real simple, and this is coach speak, but get better every day. I think if you're better today than you were yesterday, you've got a pretty good chance to be good tomorrow. But will we get better every day? And that's a challenge of every team, and then just how do we develop as a team? How do the pieces fit together? And that in a conference like ours where everybody is so balanced and anybody can beat anybody else, how well the pieces fit together in your team, what's team chemistry like and the camaraderie, that goes a long way in determining your success because we have incredible balance within the Commonwealth Conference. When you look at the teams, you have a team as good historically as Elizabethtown picks 7th in the conference. That's just not going to happen. But then you start looking at it and saying, well, who will finish 7th out of 8? And it's really hard to determine because any one of those teams can win it, and you just every night you don't know who's going to win games, let alone over the course of the season which team's going to kind of get that run going and take it and go with it. So our goals are just keep working to get better because right now we're sitting in the middle of November and we sort of know what our team looks like, but January and February and hopefully March are so far off that so many things can change. I mean, we don't even have a full month under our belts yet, and we still have 3 more months of basketball to go. So it's a real long season. So you just work to get better all the time, and then you trust that the big picture is going to take care of itself. Well, the Commonwealth Conference, this is the last year that we'll have 8 teams. Next year it goes to 10 teams with the addition of Hood and Stevenson. So it's historically very challenging, and the night you don't show up to play hard is the night you're going to lose, and it's as simple as that. You can't get away with a substandard effort, and there's times that maybe you wish you had a couple nights off where there were some easy teams, and it just doesn't exist. So you condition your players, you condition your team to be prepared to go hard every day because you can't afford it. And anytime I sense the team falling off, we just say, hey, what's going to happen if we do this on a Wednesday night in February? What's going to happen if we're on the road on a Saturday in January? We're going to lose if we play like this. We have to pick it up, and we have to consistently play hard every night out. Non-conference, we're hosting 2 tournaments again, both of which will have some very good teams in them. Our tip-off tournament has Randolph-Macon, which is a preseason top 10 in the country. Rutgers-Newark, who is very good. Our holiday tournament has Richard Stockton, which is just a couple years removed from the national championship game. We also are playing Cornell this year for the first time. So we're stepping up and playing a Division I game, which it's should be a great experience, a nice opportunity for us to step up in class and just see how the other half lives and what it's like to play in that type of environment against that type of program. Because that's 2 years ago they were one of the big stories of the NCAA tournament. Now they've lost some players from that, but still, it's a good, tough Ivy League school. And then we have other normal non-conference opponents, which we enjoy playing. We've had some change in our staff this year. Britt Moore, who was a longtime assistant of mine, got the head coaching job at Pitt Bradford, and he will be missed. He brought a lot of experience and really great understanding, fundamental understanding of the game. And so what we've done is Mike Riley, who had been 2 years as second assistant, we promoted him to fill Britt's spot, and Adam Van Zelst, who was a point guard for us and was a volunteer assistant last year, has become the second assistant. Both young, hungry, aggressive guys. Really, should be very good at recruiting, getting out on the road, and Coach Riley having the added responsibility of game preparation and film breakdown and a lot of stuff that Britt Moore had handled in the past. And then we're very fortunate to add a new volunteer assistant, Tony Ballister, who's a longtime coach at Holy Name High School, and a guy who actually played for me when I first started coaching back when I was an assistant at Susquehanna. He was a player on the team's end, and he's been a very successful local coach. Has some college experience from back at Susquehanna, and we're very fortunate to have his knowledge on our staff. He's been named a principal at the new Berks Catholic High School, and so he didn't have the time to devote to being a full-time coach. So we're lucky to have him as a volunteer assistant. One of the nice building blocks for our season was we took an overseas trip in August, and the NCAA permits you to take an international trip every 3 years, and it's an opportunity out of season to play and practice. So this past summer, we went to Italy, and we had a 9-day tour, played 3 games against professional competition, and just had a fantastic experience with it. And it's nice because we got to come back and had a week of practice, and guys got together. But more importantly, when we were overseas, we played some good competition, had success with that competition, did a lot of sightseeing, a lot of educational opportunities, and then it's just great for team building. You got your team out there in a foreign-speaking country, and they've got to stick together and rely on each other because there's really nobody else they can even talk to other than fighting their way through the language. So it's real nice for our program. It's a great thing for us to be able to do. This is in my 11 years. That's the 3rd international tour we've taken. We've been previously to Spain and Ireland and England, in addition to this Italy trip. So we're very fortunate to be able to come up with the resources to be able to do something first class and of this magnitude for our players.